You don't live in a democracy. You live in a financial system, a network that decides who wins wars, who builds empires, and who stays poor. It doesn't wear a crown, and it doesn't need armies. It rules silently through contracts, credit, and compliance. Most people never notice it because it doesn't have to hide. The most extraordinary feat money ever accomplished, convincing the world it was neutral. We were taught that money is just a tool, a measure of value, a way to trade. But what if that's a story designed to blind us? What if money isn't merely a tool but a system of control, built not to measure value but to extract it? The rise of this system isn't about greedy boardroom villains. It's centuries of careful engineering by merchants, kings, and bankers who learned how to turn promises into power. To understand, we must go back to when money was tangible. Gold, silver, salt, grain. Things you could hold, trade, and store. For most of history, money represented labor, land, or metal. To get more, you had to earn it, or take it. Then came a revolutionary idea. What if money didn't need to exist, as long as people believed it did? The first glimpse of this illusion appeared in 11th century China under the Song dynasty. Transporting coins became impractical, so the government issued paper notes, promises backed only by the emperor's word. It worked, the economy expanded, merchants prospered. But when too many notes were printed, trust collapsed, and the currency followed. Centuries later, European merchants rediscovered the power of promises. Transporting gold was slow and dangerous, so they created letters of credit, written commitments redeemable elsewhere. Safer, faster, and invisible to bandits, paper generated wealth beyond gold's limits. This was the birth of modern money, separated from matter. No one mastered it like the Medici. In 15th century Florence, the Medici Bank funded kings, popes, and wars, pioneering double-entry bookkeeping. For the first time, money could be created with ink, not metal. Every loan became an asset, every debt, wealth. Monarchs were quietly replaced by merchants. By the 1600s, the Dutch transformed trade into empire through the joint stock company. Ordinary citizens could profit from conquest without leaving home. Profit came from ownership, not labor. England followed, and the British East India Company became a hybrid of business and government, with armies, taxes, and its own currency. London became the heart of global finance. The real turning point came in 1694 with the Bank of England. Drowning in war debt, the government allowed private bankers to issue paper money backed by state debt. Debt ceased being a weakness. It became the engine of empire. From that moment, money and power were inseparable. Kings no longer ruled bankers, bankers ruled kings. By the 18th century, the system was complete. Gold remained a reference, but paper became reality. The industrial era amplified its scale. Banking dynasties, Rothschilds, Morgans, Barings, didn't just lend money. They brokered peace, funded revolutions, and controlled wars. Their product wasn't gold or bonds, it was trust. Confidence could be created, and with every crisis, their control strengthened. The 20th century cemented the system. In 1913, the US created the Federal Reserve. Governments no longer minted money. They borrowed it with interest. Printing became policy. Democracy became debt management. After WPUPS, Bretton Woods tied global trade to the dollar. When Nixon ended the gold standard in 1971, fiat money, currency backed by belief, was born. Growth no longer required resources, only credit. Governments borrowed to spend. Corporations borrowed to expand. Consumers borrowed to live. This is the trap. A system so vast, it doesn't need conspiracies, it just needs participation. Every paycheck, mortgage, and credit card fuels it. You can't see it, only feel it. Debt powers the system, interest flows upward, and the rulers remain invisible. Today, governments, markets, and central banks function as one. Inflation quietly erases debt, punishes savers, rewards debtors, and maintains the machine. The 2008 financial crisis revealed the truth. Trillions were conjured overnight to save institutions, not people. Dependence, not force, sustains the system. Now, the next phase is digital. Central bank digital currencies are being tested worldwide, promising speed and convenience, but erasing privacy. every transaction recorded, every account programmable. Freedom becomes conditional, not by law, but by design. People accept it, just as they accepted debt as growth. The genius of the trap is internal. Every time we borrow, spend, or save, we participate. Every time we equate success with dollars instead of value, we reinforce it. No system lasts forever. Every empire of credit collapses under its own contradictions. Rome, France, Britain, belief breaks. Survivors aren't the richest, but those who understand money, not wealth, but trust, not power, but consensus. When the system resets, knowledge becomes the ultimate asset. How do you escape? You don't destroy it, you outgrow it. Stop confusing numbers with value. Build what money cannot print. Knowledge, skills, relationships, tangible assets, independent thought. The one currency it cannot inflate is awareness. Money rules because we allow it. History shows every system eventually serves. When this one collapses, as all do, those who understand it will shape what comes next. History doesn't repeat. Ignoring it ensures it defeats you.